Welcome in to the inaugural edition of Rox Inbox. I'm Patrick Lyons.
I'm Suzie Hunter. We're so excited to answer your questions. Our diehards. Thank you, guys.
That's it. This is going to be our mailbag show. Also, just general questions and answers, Q&A style for our diehard level only questions that we got in the members only Discord. And of course, most of the questions pertain to the Rockies. But of course, there's going to be MLB questions. And then there's going to be some maybe off-the-wall kind of questions where they want to know, I don't know, what's our favorite fabric material that we like to wear on our feet? Are we wool people? Are we cotton?
Is that a question we got?
No.
Has anyone asked what exactly diehard level is? Because I'm happy to explain it.
Well, they're already in. Like if you got to us,
they're already in. But if you're wondering what has changed, the way I've been describing it is that DNVR is moving towards a more OnlyFans-like structure. So,
diehards only.
Diehards only.
That's what it's about. But everyone who's already in the Discord, I mean, you're already there. And if you're seeing this, you've logged in. This is only for you. So you're already a diehard. So you are already set and good to go. So without further ado, on the inaugural edition, we've got the inaugural question. I love that word. Inaugural from D-Rox, a.k.a. our guy Derek, in the Diehards Only Discord. Do we expect the Rockies to try and trade CJ Cron this offseason, or maybe wait for the trade deadline?
Wait, let me answer this one first. I would say neither of those things.
Yeah.
I would say it's not even an or. It's like, no, they're not going to do either of those things.
It's great question, very pointed, but you almost can say, well, didn't they kind of go through this at the last trade deadline and not really pull the trigger on that and make a move? And so, yeah, the inclination is probably not. However, the situation has changed in both directions. I think I still very much land on your side, Suzie.
Yeah.
And part of that has to do simply with the fact that there are a lot of decent first base options that are out there. And you look what CJ Cron was able to do, and he's making $7.5 million this next year, and you go, that's pretty good for an all-star first baseman.
Yeah.
But Josh Bell's out there, Brandon Drury, there's a lot of other trade candidates that you could squint and say, maybe this guy gives us 3/4 of the production at the plate as a CJ Cron, but for a quarter of the price. I mean, Pirates just acquired G-Man Choi in a trade a couple weeks ago from Tampa Bay, and you go, well, he's not CJ Cron, but he's also a lot cheaper. So it's going to be hard, too. I think that's part of the issue that the Rockies have is teams seem like they might be lowballing them, but at the same time, if the market is just flooded with other first base types, you're probably not going to get that much back.
You also have to remember that the Rockies have hoarder energy. If they have it, they don't want to get rid of it because what if they need it?
That's a great point. They do that with the prospects.
Yes.
They're starting to move away from that, maybe just a little bit, right? Like, obviously we did see that with the Raimel Tapia trade where they did give up Adrian Pinto. It's sort of a trade that we aren't going to really necessarily know who won that deal, especially if Adrian Pinto does become something for the Toronto Blue Jays. But you're right, they definitely can hoard that. On the flip side, you say, well, maybe the Rockies will realize how foolish they looked, bottom line, at getting nothing for all of their guys that were becoming free agents at the 2022 deadline and say, you know what, bottom line, even if we're just going to get a bag of balls, it just frees up some extra space and extra playing time for Michael Tolio or Elihuris Montero or anybody else that impacts those positions, because although Cron only plays first base, McMahon can play some first base, so can Montero. So it impacts the third base situation, right? Michael Tolio can play right field. Obviously, he's the first baseman of the future, so that implicates, the right field situation in the outfield. So it's not even just at first base; it has implications in other spots, including designated hitter.
Yeah.
So they would do well for kind of offloading him if the Rockies aren't in the hunt and are potentially mathematically eliminated in, I don't know, on June 5th. No, that's impossible.
And that's all the time we have. No, I'm just kidding. We do have other questions.
We're going to answer these with a little bit more sass because, again, this is behind a paywall.
I know.
So we can do what we want.
We can do anything.
Sir Homer asks, question numero dos. Love this one, too. Will Riley Pint be on the opening day roster? Will Zach Veen be on the opening day roster? And if not, when? And what's the biggest free agent move that the Rockies will make?
Ooh.
Jump in on anyone in particular that you got a feeling for.
I don't think we're going to see Riley Pint on an opening day roster.
Probably not.
I question whether or not we would even see him this season.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Again, a lot of that will have to do with the Rockies' need and his performance too.
Yeah.
I think the bottom line is that performance, and Pint, I wouldn't call him reliable right now. A little bit of a injury history. He missed at the end of last season in September, so obviously that was a disappointment. But if the Rockies' bullpen is clicking, I mean, you can, and if the team is clicking, there's guys down in the minors that might not get that opportunity because if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
So, but the Rockies, I don't know if they are fixed just yet. I don't think we'll see Pint on the opening day roster. You'll still see him plenty in spring training. I'm excited for this spring training just because there are a lot of interesting stories going around with the World Baseball Classic happening, of the teams training down there. But you'll see a lot of Riley Pint, a lot of Zach Veen down in spring training as well.
Yeah.
We've got...
what's the venometer at right now?
Venometer at the time of recording. I don't like dating things because it can always change.
It's an ever-moving
Can
meter.
always change. But at the start of soccer season, it was 15%. 15% chance that he is going to make that opening day roster. That's pretty big. It continues to rise. I think we saw what Ezequiel Tovar did down in spring last year, and you immediately said, okay, we're going to see him by the end of the season, even though he had not even played above A-ball level yet. So Veen could definitely move that lineup a lot. So when will we actually see him?
I think this is the year of Veen. I think in 2023 we will definitely see Zach Veen. I want to say early summer.
That's kind of where I feel he'll be. I hope it's more of like mid-May, because that would give him enough opportunity to really kind of supplant himself in the National League Rookie of the Year award conversation. He's getting a lot more playing time. It means they've moved on from maybe some of those older players. I mean, look, Sean Bouchard is not a veteran yet, right? He still has rookie eligibility.
Yeah.
And yet he's, like 26 years old. So he's not 20, 21 like Zach Veen, right? I mean, God forbid when there's a player who's 33 years old, you're like, at that point, I mean, you just should retire.
Gosh.
You know what I'm saying? God.
Knocking on death's door.
Exactly. Thank God neither of us are even close to that age.
No.
But yes, I hope to see him mid-May. I think more realistically, I'm
going to say late June. I'm going to say after the solstice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think it could be post-All-Star game. Again, if the Rockies are controlling the narrative and are almost trying to say, well, when is it best for us? Well, after the All-Star break, we're kind of out of the hunt. Maybe people aren't paying attention quite as much. So we need to kind of, pump things up, get people excited. We'll wait. But if Zach Veen is, starting out in AA, he might even start in AAA. We don't know yet. If he's starting in AAA and he's tearing the cover off the ball and there's some questions in the outfield, or even if somebody gets hurt, you go, you know what, now's the time. Let's bring him up now rather than waiting and having him kind of, get some dust on him down in AAA. Make that move. I'm hopeful that it would be a lot closer to June, if not maybe even May.
Ooh. You don't want him to get dusty.
And the big free agent move, I don't know if we're going to get one, to be honest.
I hate that we're agreeing on these things, but I absolutely do not see a big free agent move happening this year. We got our big move last year. We went all out. We got the biggest free agent.
And we didn't see Chris Bryant anywhere.
And we haven't even seen him. So we need to...
No. That's not what I meant. No, I meant we didn't see the transaction of signing Chris Bryant anywhere.
God, but we also haven't seen a lot of him. So
That's true.
What? Next year we can hopefully have a lot more time to enjoy the free agent that we signed last offseason.
Yes. No, but I've been thinking a lot about the Brendan Nimmo situation. There's 3 left-handed outfield bats. There's really, I feel like there's only 3 big left-handed bats in general that are out there right now, and the Rockies are attached to basically the best one. Cody Bellinger, say what you will, former MVP. Kevin Kiermaier, his best days are behind him. But Brendan Nimmo is the guy, or if you need a left-handed bat, and you need a good defensive outfielder, whether in center or one of the corners, I mean, Brandon Nimmo is going to go and get paid. Are you going to spend close to Chris Bryant money on a Brandon Nimmo? Because the Rockies aren't going to be the only suitors looking after Brandon Nimmo.
Definitely.
So that's going to drive his price up really high. So if they can't get Nimmo, now all bets are off. Who really knows who they're going to go after and what they're going to get. They definitely need some veteran relief pitchers, so maybe they splurge there. Maybe they even splurge and bring back a Carlos Estevez, which I think his price is going to get really high. Again, it's all of these dominoes. That's what's so interesting with the winter meetings and Scott Boras holding back his clients so that they get their deal. And then after that sets the market. And then everyone else starts to sign and go, well, if this guy got this much, my guy is worth this and my guy is worth that. You almost don't want to sign too soon before the market really sets itself out.
It's Scott Boras' world, and we're all just living in it.
No, 100%.
100%.
100%. So the big free agent signing, I mean, I think it probably could be like a relief pitcher. Some relief pitcher's going to get 3 years, $27 million.
I'm a hope that it's a relief pitcher.
Yeah.
I'm a hope it's anyone with an arm.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe Kevin Kiermaier. But again, I don't know if that's a big one. But that would be the biggest if that possibly happens. Question numero tres. Love this one. This one's such a good question from Dom Massa, a.k.a. our boy Dom P. Who has a better career, Zach Veen or Ezekiel Tovar?
Who has a better career right now, or who will have a better career?
Who will have a better career? I actually literally just said better career. I'm thinking we're not rating their minor leagues. We want to know who's going to have a better career going forward. Dom, if we get that wrong, let us know, please. But, yeah, going forward, 10 out of 10 question. I love this one.
This is really good. I don't know. I mean, like, we've just seen so much Tovar.
Yeah.
And, like, I know this is so close because Veen's got the flash, he's got the flair, like, he's got that vibe.
Yeah.
But I feel like Tovar is going to be the one that's, like, really going to have the poppin' career.
We finally disagree.
Oh, my gosh.
They're both going to have great careers. And it's funny because if you go back and look at a lot of the top 100 lists, it's like Zach Veen, 27, Tovar, 29. Tovar 25, Zach Veen 31. So it's like they are both kind of right there.
Yeah.
I just think that Zach Veen might have the bigger upside. It's funny. You see Tovar, he's I'm not going to say he's slight of frame.
He's still so small.
He's still so small.
He doesn't have his man strength yet.
Look at Francisco Lindor. You go, that guy's hitting 30 home runs consistently. Ezekiel Tovar very much could do that, which is worth a lot more than Zach Veen hitting 30 home runs out in the outfield because you can replicate that power for an outfielder. You can't get that out of a shortstop.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's also that scale that says it's going to be really hard, and Tovar's got more of the Gold Glove conversation. I don't know. I'm just buying the Zach Veen hype right now. I'm going to go Zach Veen, the better career. But boy, oh boy. I hope we're talking about this every year of like, all right, who's having it? We'll have to check in every month. Every week. That's going to be super exciting.
Dom, you've given us so much to think about. It's so loud in here, by the way.
It's great. It's soccer season, man.
Soccer season.
And it's not even Team USA. That's how lit it is on the corner of Colstock, New York. Wait, I just went into an ad read. This is free.
We don't get ad reads. We don't do ad reads.
Velo Diesel, our guy Manny, asked us on Twitter, also a member, for a guy who's a legit pitcher, why didn't anyone else pick up Brent Suter?
That's a really good question.
A lot of logistics in that.
Yeah.
So he was claimed off of waivers. He didn't just like sign as a free agent. He was claimed off of waivers. And the specifics that go into that, he was a Brewer, he goes on waivers. First crack is National League teams. And it goes through worst record to best in the National League, which actually means the Dodgers would get an opportunity to pick up and claim a Brent Suter than, let's say, a Texas Rangers at the bottom of the American League. They get first crack at him. So, as it happens, you had, Reds, Nats, and Pirates. They all passed Brent Suter. I can't say Suter. Brent Suter, boom. Rockies had fourth pick, essentially. And they said, no, this is exactly the guy that we want. And that's a really, really solid pickup. I'm very excited for this. This is equivalent of like a free agent type pickup.
He was a steal for sure, and he's got such a great personality. Can't wait to talk about this on the pod.
Yes,
because I think we're gonna enjoy his presence here in Colorado.
No, I think he's an older guy too. Like he's like 33.
Yeah,
so he's
33.
got more of a veteran type presence, even though he hasn't been a free agency yet. So that will be interesting, and with his environmentally leaning background, I mean, shoot, this could be a guy that signs kind of a Daniel Bard type deal or a Tyler Kinley type extension. And so, again, you only get the 1 year, so be it. Final question, Mr. Nunez, just finally getting in, revolutionizing our Diehards only Discord, requesting a lacrosse channel. So we now have a lacrosse channel.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Mr. Nunez, that was him, man.
Congratulations to us.
Props.
Thank you for
Colorado
doing that.
Mammoth. I'm getting the lacrosse season. That's it. I don't know how I'm going to find time to cover the Rockies between soccer season, Colorado Mammoth. reigning champs.
You know what? You hate sleep, so I think you will find the time.
It's great, yeah.
But yeah, we love our champion Colorado Mammoth.
And 3/4 of the day is in the dark anyway, so I might as well just embrace that kind of lifestyle.
Exactly. There's no difference.
All right, so the question from Mr. Nunez, if you can invite 3 people to dinner, living or dead, would you want them to be alive or dead? No, that's not the question.
I would want them to be alive while I died with them.
No, who would you invite? I decided to kind of take an exit there on that. For me, I gotta have a baseball person there. I'm going Connie Mack, my guy Cornelius McGillicuddy. Not because I'm a huge Connie Mack fan. There's I want to say like a 1,000-page book about him. Haven't even touched it, but the dude has seen like over 8,000 games. He started playing in the 1880s, and he managed through the 1950 to be exact. Had Ty Cobb on his team. This guy has to have the best stories. Connie Mack is going to sit at my table.
Yeah, that's a good invite.
All right, for a little entertainment, got to have Jim Carrey. I'm a big Jim Carrey stan. Not still to this day, but again, like he's just a guy from when I was younger and a kid, was the icon. He did stand-up comedy during the big boom in the 1980s, which is amazing. Opened for and dated Linda Ronstadt. Again, just he's lived a life. Sketch comedy on Living Color.
He has lived a life.
Movies, comedy icon. He paints now, so I mean that's amazing.
And then, interesting dude.
And then maybe this is selfish, but again, it's who I would invite. I would invite my best friend, Jesse Hausling. Unfortunately, no longer with us. He passed away 10 years ago of sickle cell anemia. So I miss him each and every day.
Oh my gosh.
And so I would want him to be there and getting in on that. So
I think you guys would have a fun meal.
That would be at our dinner. That would be my dinner table. Yeah.
Nice. I like that. My answer is pretty simple. I'd want Bobby Valentine there. I love Bobby Valentine. And both of my parents so we can parent trap them.
Yes. Yes. I'm down. Yours could happen.
Mine could happen. I could text Bobby Valentine and be like, hey, do you want to get dinner with my parents and parent trap them?
I like that.
I think he would be into it.
I just saw a graphic of young Bobby Valentine looking great, and I'm like, he was a handsome guy when he was young. And it was an image of him and Nolan Ryan. He was Nolan Ryan's center fielder when Nolan pitched in L.A. or Anaheim for the California Angels. But the image was of Nolan Ryan after he threw his 6th and 7th no-hitter with the Texas Rangers. Bobby Valentine was Nolan Ryan's manager at that point and was 3 years younger. It was just great. What a great image.
You know what? I love that. Bobby Valentine is just such a great baseball mind.
With an intimate environment like that, I'm guaranteeing you he will either confess or give you the original recipe for the rap. You're going to get that there.
You act like I don't already have it.
Yeah. Hey, you're going to get nothing but honest and open answers from us. Again, we're going to do this probably every 2 weeks. Each and every week, we're going to have special Diehards level only content that we're super excited to bring you. And so every 2 weeks, man, get those questions in, stockpile them. You can even hit us up on Twitter. Let people know where you can get us. This has been fun. Number 1, in the books. We did it.
We did it. Let's do our actual pod now.
Let's.
Let's.
Thanks, guys.